Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi all, my name is Nisa Anindya Usna and you can call me as Anin. I'm here to present my paper that is the whole of drugs. First of all, I would like to explain why is it the whole of drugs. It's called the whole of drugs because in consuming drugs, once you've consumed them and it's untreated, it can cause addiction and also a dangerous damage for health. My reason of writing this paper is to educate and to prevent every teenagers or even adults from taking illegal drugs. We're moving to the next chapter, that is discussion, and the timelines are what are drugs, kinds of drugs, why use drugs, and the impacts of drugs. And the first point of second chapter is what are drugs. So basically, drugs are substances that can change a person's mental and physical state, and they can affect the way our brain works and the way our brain works, how we feel, and how our understandings be. And there are a few ways a person can take drugs, such as ingestion, inhalation, and injection. Drugs can have short-term and long-term effects, and these effects can be psychological and physical. And it's important to know that consuming drugs more than the dosage that is given by your doctor or psychiatrist can cause addiction, and it is also dangerous for your health. So in simple ways, drugs are like two sides of coin. It can be substances that can provide benefits and also a serious damage for health if they are misused. And the next point, we have kinds of drugs. So we have 7 kinds of drugs here: CNS depressants, CNS stimulants, hallucinogens, dissociative anesthetics, narcotic analgesics, inhalants, and cannabis. Due to the shortness of time, I will only explain 2 of them. One's legal and one's illegal. For the legal one, we have CNS depressants. It can slow brain activity, treating anxiety, panic, acute stress reaction, and sleep disorders. And for the example, there are alcohol, barbiturates, anti-anxiety tranquilizers, GHB, rohypnol, and many other depressants. And for the illegal one, we have narcotic analgesics. It can induce euphoria and create mood changes in the user. And the examples are opium, codeine, heroin, Demerol, Darban, morphine, and etc. It is also important to know that illegal drugs are not controlled substances, and therefore it may differ from one batch to another. And the next point, we have why do people use drugs. So because every person have different experience and backgrounds, we can judge someone from taking drugs. And because of that, the rush of pleasure from using drugs can provide temporary solace from suffering, which can stem many mental health or other issues such as trauma or abuse, mental illness, low self-esteem, chronic pain, stress, and loss of loved one. The next point, we have the impacts of drug addiction. So the impacts of drug addiction can be divided into 2 parts, that is physical effects and social effects. For the physical effects, it can cause heart attacks, seizures and stroke, brain damage, and etc. For the social effects, it can cause financial trouble, relationship loss, loss of employment, and you can also get jailed by just taking drugs. And we arrived at the last part of this paper presentation, that is closing. In conclusion, we all have known that the effects of drug are based on the user. Legal, illegal, and illegal drugs have different effects and quality. The reason of someone taking drugs are various, and the impacts of drug addiction is only troubling your life. I have this one quote right here. It says, "We are the artist that paints our life." So it means that the drugs effects are based on the person's usage. And it can be good or bad, it can be friends or enemy, and knowing more about what are drugs can give us wiser choosing in life. I think that's all from me. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Is it okay if I call you Anin, yeah? Anin?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Anin, good, very, very good. Clearly you've done your research and you put together a very, useful and knowledgeable paper. Would you say, I mean, that, drugs, misuse of drugs is a big problem for young people in Indonesia?
Yes.
Okay. What evidence do you have? Do you have any statistics or anything?
I once saw that a celebrity got caught by using drugs, and it damaged his career, and he is also got jailed for years and got back after years.
Okay. And Rafi Ahmad, right? He also previously, right, got done for drugs, right? I think.
Right.
Rafi Ahmad. Yeah. Okay. What about? I'm not talking about famous people. I'm talking about young people. Do you know any statistics or anything related to the use of drugs amongst young people?
Yeah, it is also a celebrity. His name is Jeffrey Nicole.
Okay, and he's young, right?
Yes.
He's quite young. Okay. So do you think that it only affects people that either have access or associate themselves with famous people and therefore they might have access to drugs, or do you think it is a problem that affects all young people?
It affects all young people. It can affect school. It can affect a relationship with family, and etc.
Okay. So the object or the purpose of your paper today was to educate and to, what was the other one?
To
prevent. Okay. Do you think that this paper has? Do you feel that you have fulfilled your purpose of educating and preventing your classmates, maybe, or from drug addiction?
Yeah, I think I've give information about the impacts of drug. I guess my friends can what does that mean? Can prevent themselves.
Okay, cool. Well done. Then I think you fulfilled your purpose then, Anin. So well done. Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmad. Maybe the next one, yeah. Second one. Thank you very much, Anin.
Thank you, sir.